Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back. Today's story is Elisha's bottomless oil flask. So let's take a listen. The prophet Elisha had followed after Elijah, and he too was a faithful follower of God in the land of Israel. Among the other believers was a group of prophets who helped Elisha, and sadly, one of them had died. The widow of the passed away prophet came to Elisha with a problem. Her husband had left her with debts and 2 sons. One of the men she owed money to was threatening to take her 2 sons as slaves to settle that debt, and there was nothing she could do. So Elisha asked her to gather up as many empty jars as she could find. She scrounged up a lot of jars and then did something that made no sense. At Elisha's request, she took a small flask of olive oil and began pouring it into a large jar. The oil kept flowing and filled the jar, and the next jar, and every jar she could borrow from her neighbors. Now, go sell the olive oil and pay off what you owe, Elisha said. You and your sons can then live on the money left over from that sale. God had provided exactly what the widow and her sons needed from 2 Kings 4. Let me just read a little bit from the Bible here. Pots and jars. Pottery jars made of hardened clay were used everywhere during Bible times. Pottery making is one of the oldest crafts in Bible lands. By looking at the shapes of pottery jars, archaeologists who study the past can tell when and where they were made. Clay pots and jars were used for every type of storage as well as for eating and cooking. Some pots were very plain, while others were beautifully decorated. Just a little history for you. So meanwhile in your world, there's stuff you want and stuff you need. Here's one way to tell the difference. Hold your breath as you write a list for stuff you want in your journal or maybe on a piece of paper. List anything, but don't breathe until you really, really have to. Whew, you want lots of new techie stuff, but you need air. Quite a difference, huh? You know when you were trying to live without breathing air? Well, you can't do that, at least not for long. Thank God for giving you life by thinking about your breathing for a bit. For the next couple of minutes, when you breathe in, thank God. God, thank you for life. And when you breathe out, thank God, I praise you for your good gift. Rustle up some friends or family to play Desert Island. Give people each a chance to say what they'd like to take with them to a deserted island. Food and water will already be there, plus a tent. See who'd bring what, and then see if you can all agree on 3 things to take. Have fun. By the way, if someone says fork, he probably thinks it's a dessert island made out of chocolate cake. So when a friend or a family needs something, you show up and help as best you can. So during this next week, maybe think of ways that you can help people and show up. If they need something, show up and help them. We all need help, and we all look to people to help us. But most importantly, look to God to help you. You guys have a great week. I'll see you soon. I love you.